All right, y'all, what's going on? Hope you're having a blessed day. Hope you're having a productive day. As y'all can see today, we have a bit of a different video. We're starting off on the charts. It's not going to be a vlog today. It's going to be just a raw, probably not going to edit it too much video of me kind of recapping last week, recapping my strengths, my weaknesses, and basically the struggles I had that caused me to turn a profitable week into a break-even week. Not going to yap too much, but it's just gonna be a kind of transparent video where I'm talking to you guys, just letting you guys know what my problems are and how I'm going to improve them, how I'm going to move forward from what happened last week, and kind of just make it to where I'm the person that can do this full time and make a consistent income off of it. So I'm gonna start off with just recapping the two trades last week that were my strategy, that were A plus. And let me stop. Let me just see if I can find the first Thursday. Okay, boom, here we go. So let's go back a little bit. So here we go. And like I said, I'm not going to give you guys a whole overview on my strategy, my edge, whatever, but I'll show you guys the execution, my entry, my target, stuff like that, just the basics, because I don't know if I want to get that out yet. Probably will later on, but we're going to see. But anyway, so boom. Here we have on Tuesday, and I recorded a vlog this day talking about this trade, but just if you haven't watched that video, this is the trade that I missed on Tuesday, where on the 1 minute, I enter off of fair value gaps. So on the 1 minute, we had two fair value gaps down here, but as you can see, no entry. Now, my strategy, I can enter on the 1 minute all the way through to the 5 minute on any fair value gap on those time frames to get to my overall target, which was these highs right here, and ultimately a 1 to 2. Because I like having a set TP, like I said, RR, and 1 to 2 is the minimum I will close at. But here's where I would move my stop to break even, if you get what I'm saying. So basically, everything else for my strategy or my edge played out perfectly. And on the 1 minute time frame, I didn't have a clear entry. However, on the 2 minute, if you look right there, fair value gap, entry, very minimal drawdown, ran up to the highs. This would have been the first target. Stop would have been break even, and then obviously ultimately to my full target. But I hesitated because I didn't see my entry on the time frame that I usually look at. Not that I don't look at the 2 to 3. I have these on here bookmarked for a reason. These time frames are all like these are all valid for entry. But I hesitated on it. Basically, I hesitated, didn't get in, and literally watched it go without me. So that was frustrating. That was the first trade of the week. Then fast forward to, let me get out of here, and I'm gonna fast forward back to the second trade of the week. Boom, right here. Fast forward to Friday. You guys didn't get a video on Friday because I was recording the vlog actually in the morning, and I recorded all this happened too. And when it happened, I got so frustrated. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change the topic of the video from a vlog to this video right here. But I ended up not recording on Friday, so now that it's Monday, I was like, you know what? Let me get this video out because this is what I wanted to do on Friday. And the vlogs are kind of repetitive because I'm not really doing anything different. Every day is kind of the same exact thing. So I'm like, you know what? Let me change it up and let me give you guys a more, I don't know, I guess a video on the charts, a video just talking about what went on with my trading day. So that's why we're here doing this. So this was the second trade of the week. Now, I mean, pretty much just like looks exactly like the last trade. All my trades y'all will see look pretty much exactly the same. So this was the second trade of the week. Boom, we came up, and as you can see, we actually had these two fair value gaps. And I'm just putting one big box. Obviously, I know that right here is not a fair value gap, but we have one fair value gap, two fair value gaps. I just put one big box to sum both of them up. And as you can see, we came down, worked into that first fair value gap, or that top fair value gap, and shot up. Came to these highs where stop loss went to break even. And I wouldn't have even had time to move my stop to break even because it went straight to take profit right after it hit those highs. 1 to 2, clean trade. That would have been the second winning trade of the week. And y'all know what I did? I watched this candle. I watched this black candle right here. Let me remove it, or let me just move that over. I watched this black candle right here, which would have been my entry candle. I watched it come down when it was a whole, because in real time, this was a crazy bearish candle. Came down here, and me again hesitating. I don't know what it was. I guess lack of confidence, hesitation, fear, whatever it was. I didn't want to lose. I watched it. I watched it come down here. I watched it wake right back up, and I'm like, you know, this is an entry. Like I should be entering here. This candle gave me plenty of opportunity to enter, and even this candle came back down. I could have caught an entry, a little bit delayed, but nonetheless, a still good entry following my strategy. And instead, I sat there, I hesitated, and I watched it go all the way up, even past the 1 to 2. It went up. I don't know how it went. I don't even want to look at it, but it went up there. It went crazy, and that was the second trade I missed this week. So combined, both trades would have been 1,500. So it would have been a $3,000 week on my account down here. And just to be transparent, let me actually exit replay mode. Hold on, we're gonna just leave because y'all see the trades. Get back on the TradeVid account. Oh, y'all can't see the password anyways. I'm gonna blur it out. I'm signing in real quick for you guys. As y'all can see, the account balance is at the same exact balance it was the last time I showed it. The last video I showed it on Tuesday when I didn't execute that first trade. So just so y'all know, I didn't enter. I didn't take any trades. I literally froze up on the 2 trades that I had. And if you watch me, it's kind of like, yo, he backtests 4 trades a day. I have plenty of sample size. I've been doing this for around 2 years now. And it's like, why is he freezing up? Why is he scared? And in the moment, I'm like, I didn't even know why I was worried. Like, I don't even know why I was scared to take the trade. It wasn't that I was scared to lose because I'm only risking 750 per trade. And that gives me more than enough trades to lose before I would lose this account at all. Like 750 per trade with my drawdown goes to 6,500. So 750 per trade, I have plenty of trades until that would get breached. And I wasn't even worried about that because I trust that I'm going to win a trade, which as y'all see this week was pretty much 2-0, but I didn't take them. So it wasn't that. So I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, why am I hesitating? Is it that I'm posting them online? And it's like, not that either. I'm not afraid to lose in front of people. I'm going to be as transparent as I can be. Like, that was the goal making this channel. So I'm like, bro, what is going on? So I had to sit down and after like reflecting a little bit, I went and made this checklist over here, kind of talking about, okay, what was the problem? So as I can see, it's called the struggles and then the $1,000,000 blueprint on how I'm going to move past these hurdles and scale my trading to the point where I am the person I want to be, or financially I'm where I want to be. So as I just talked about, last week's struggles was fear and hesitation. And in the moment, I'm like, bro, where is this coming from? Because I never had that issue before. Like, I will always be cool to enter a trade. I traded about, like, I'd say 3 different strategies. First one being the most retail. Like, I traded trend lines. I traded supply and demand. I traded support. So maybe like four or 5 different strategies in my time. And this was the one I settled on around like I'll say like 6 to 8 months ago. Really a year ago, I settled on this ICT type of model, but I got me a mentor about like 6 months in and really like kind of I guess narrowed it down to a specific set thing that I look for every single time. So I think me and when I traded those other edges 4 or 5 years ago, or not 4 or 5 years ago, when I traded those other edges like a year ago or whatever, I had mild success with them too. Like I was able to get payout using using one edge and stuff like that. But the problem was with those was that obviously I back tested, but I would back test like 15 trades on FX replay and be like, all right, yeah, we're good to go. Like we're ready. So I'm not really getting that data that I needed. So I would obviously hit those winning streaks where y'all know when the market is literally following retail logic. Like you'll see it follow a trend line and just do it for the day or whatever. And I was executing without fear. I was getting in those and I was actually finding some mild success. But the problem would be since my edge wasn't backed with data and I didn't know in the long term how profitable it was, I would literally do this. And I never struggled with before I go on, I never struggled with over trading. I never struggled with over leveraging, like stuff like that, FOMO. And then I was always a pretty disciplined person. But I think in my case, it was just the fact that I was never trading a truly data backed edge. You know, like I was trading edges that I just made up on the spot that I thought would work. And I would find mild success with them. And then over time, I would just go on a crazy losing streak. And like none of them would be over a 50% win rate, to say the least. I think me doing that for so long and like finding mild success and then losing. Like I would get like when I got that first payout off of my one strategy, got that payout, and then I literally lost like 6 trades in a row where I didn't even see I didn't see an inch of profit. And I'm like, bro, what is happening? And I think that like past hurt kind of built it to where I'm at now, where I'm kind of like hesitating to get in a trade. I'm like, dang, what if it loses? Like, because I was following all my rules on the other strategies too. Problem is, those strategies were never backed and had the proven data that they worked in the first place. So it was just like I'm following rules to lose. So I think me having that in the past kind of translated to me doing that now, where like I feel like I'm following all my rules, I'm being disciplined. But when it's time to enter, I'm like, dang, what if I still lose? One whole time, this is a data backed edge that I know works. I see somebody use it every single week live and it works. So it's like, why would it not work for me? So that's something I had to take and kind of just process for a minute. And as a result, like, as you can see, I turned a 3K week into a break even week due to no execution. Didn't lose, which is okay, it's cool. But like at some point, we got to make some money. You can't be break even forever. Like that's not going to pay the bills. That's not going to change my lifestyle. It's not going to allow me to be able to be a blessing to others. Like I got to make some. That's the whole reason I'm trading is to make some money. So what I did, boom. So we got the solution, the $1 million blueprint. I just gave it a random name. Don't it's the solution. So boom. Number one was not as much hindsight back testing and more intentional back testing where I treat it as if it's the live market. So like what I would do before, and we're gonna just click on this right here. Boom. So we have FX replay. As you can see, 110 trades. I do buy a lot more than I sell, but I guess for last year or 2023, it was more of a buyer type of market anyways. But as you can see, the win rate is 72.64. Back tested 110 trades. First of all, I already know that like my mentor trades his model and he's been doing it for years and he's doing amazing with it. So I already know it's a strategy or a model that works. I know it's an edge that I know it's an actual edge in the market. So this is more me just being able to recognize it for one, and two, getting the data for myself. So as you can see, 72.64% win rate, 110 trades. Um, that's a decent sample size. You know what I'm saying? But the problem was when I was doing this back testing right here, and this would be where y'all would see me do the 4 a day, and I had like a lot. Like this was my 4 a day back testing stuff. The problem was I would kind of trade it in a hindsight type of way. So I would watch the market, do my model, and I would already know that I was gonna win, and I'll go back and enter in. Or I would see it lose, and I already know it's gonna lose, and I go in and enter in knowing that like that was my edge right there playing out. So I kind of wouldn't do it like I wouldn't treat it as the live market in a way. And another way I have to do that was obviously forward testing or just looking at the live market and seeing it happen live. But I think I needed some more of that, more of just like seeing it in a moment when it's time to execute. When I don't know whether it's going to go up or down, nothing like that. I needed to do some actual like entering where I would enter in the live market type of back testing, like more replay mode basically. So, and this is all from Friday, the weekend, and today. So keep in mind, this is at 110. I was doing 4 a day for a good amount of time to get 110, and it did help me to recognize exactly what my model is, exactly what to look for, exactly what market to avoid. Because that's something I also didn't know in the past was when to avoid the market, like when I shouldn't, when even though my edge is playing out, the market structure telling me not to take a trade because it's just going to chop me up, stuff like that. I learned how to identify that doing this right here, which was very much needed. But now moving forward, we have a new session right here. And as you can see, 49 trades so far. And these aren't like me just entering randomly whenever I like. This is actually intentional back testing. 49 trades. And this is in 4 days. So obviously it's not crazy, but compared to me doing 110 and however long that took, probably like a month straight, this was 49.50, 49 almost 50 in just 4 days of back testing. And what I did here was, and as you can see, hold on, the win rate is almost, I'm gonna say 70%. We gotta round it up because if you know in school we learned 0.5 and up, you round it up. So that's 70% win rate right there. Trading only one to twos and entering live when the edge is playing out when I don't know whether it's gonna win or lose. Kind of treating it exactly like the live market. Like this is straight replay mode back testing. And I called it Model 3 live only, like literally only replay mode trades like when they're happening. And I think what this did, and I'm just getting started with this too. It's only been 4 days in, but I think what this did is allow me to gain that confidence and know like, okay, no matter how it looks during entry time, when I see this specific edge playing out and I see my retrace into the fair value gap, boom, enter right there, no second thoughts about it. If it wins, it wins. If it loses, it loses. After that, after I execute my edge and make sure I identified it correctly, after I enter on that trade, the rest is not up to me. It's up to the market and whatever the probabilities are for that day. And as we can see, the probabilities are in my favor. A 70% win rate with the 1 to 2, it's profitable. A 40, what is it? I think like a 40% win rate with a 1 to 2 is still somewhat profitable in a way. So like I'm well above that percentage. So I know that if I'm doing exactly what I'm doing as I see on this back testing, how would I not be making money in the long run? Like how is that possible? So this built that confidence for me to come into this week and know that okay, there's still 30% of the trades that I would just lose because no edge is 100% win rate, as we all know. So it's like I'm still gonna lose some trades, but I know that 70% of the time, I round it down. I'll say 60% of the time, I'm going to win with a 1 to 2 RR, which means my losses aren't really gonna do anything. My wins will make up for two of my trades, three of my trades sometimes. Cause I might hold past a 1 or 2 because I think the ideal average risk reward is 6.68. And if I don't have FX replay, I don't have no sponsorship here, but I think it's a really good site to really know like how to work on your model, how to improve. Because the next thing I'm working on is like my risk to reward because I always catch 1 or 2. I don't know why it says the average is 1.35 because that's just cap. But on average, oh maybe because the break even trades is messing it up. But my ideal average R is a 6R. So imagine if I have a 70% win rate, almost catching 6 Rs every trade. I'm, might as well call me Jeff Bezos at that point. I'm gonna be outside. I'm not gonna be outside, but I'm gonna be up a good amount. Finances are not gonna be an issue at that point. But even with a 2R, a 70% win rate is more than enough. That's all I need. So now going back to here. So we have that. Not as much on-site back testing, more intentional back testing where I enter on the replay and enter exactly when I would enter in the live market. Number two was, like I said earlier, like last year, for example, I would trade. I would not hesitate when it's time to enter. But the problem was I was doing that with a strategy that was, or an edge that wasn't proven, an edge that was not profitable in the long run. So I need to understand now, I have that in my hands. I have that edge that works. I know what I'm looking for. I know what to avoid. I'm basically like I'm not gonna say I'm a veteran in the market, but I've been here a decent amount of time to know exactly what to look for, what to avoid, and do my job. And not only do I have my data to back it, I have a mentor and I have other people in the group that I'm in that also have the data to back that our model works in the long run. So it's like, what is it to hesitate for? I'm literally looking at the money and just leaving it there. I'm throwing the money away at this point. Where's it at? You want to see throwing the money away? Let me make sure. This is throwing the money away right here. Not entering on this is throwing the money away. I'm getting the money. I got the brain rot. This is the money, and this is what I'm doing with it. I'm just burning it. I'm not taking no trades. This is the money right here that I need. And that's not all about money, obviously, but it is somewhat about money. If you're trading, you know you came in to make money at the end of the day. So it's like that's not all I have my eyes on, but that's kind of this is my job. I'd rather do this than go work at Walmart or work at Amazon 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, and be depressed. Whereas this only took how many? This took 16 minutes making $1,500. And you're telling me you like, come on, this is insane. I'm and not taking this is just I'm disrespecting myself at that point. So let's go back to this. I understand my edge is profitable. I have the data. Where's the data? 110 right there, 49 right here. Plenty more in the Notion. Y'all can't see, but on the side right here, I have many tabs of just exactly what to look for. And then I have my mentor's data as well. And he has probably hundreds to even thousands of trades that prove the same exact thing. So that's step number two. Step number three. I know that my so let's go back. I know that my edge works. I know what I'm looking for. I know in the long run it's profitable. And I need to enter in so I don't ruin that. But the other thing I can do, or other thing I need to make sure I do is enter only on A plus trades and not over risk, over trade, form a win, nothing, no crash outs, no emotional crash outs that mess up the edge. Because if I know my edge works, I shouldn't even be stressing about losing trade. Maybe even 2 or 3 losing trades in a row. Over time, the probabilities tell me I'm going to make money. So it's like I need to stick with that. And that's why they say I watched a video last night. If trading was all mathematical and all technicals and edge, any genius could hop in the markets and become a millionaire. But there's a reason why people are failing at this all the time. Like it's not as simple as just knowing what's gonna happen. Because I knew it was gonna happen. I knew right here what was gonna happen. I knew that these highs were probably like very high probability of being taken. And yet, and I knew my model was playing out. I knew that the chances of this winning was very high because I've seen it hundreds of times already before. And yet something in me emotionally held me back from taking this and being able to take advantage of what happened. So it's like you can know every single thing that's gonna happen, but like emotions can really like your emotions can really dictate your success in not trading, your discipline, your consistency, your the way you handle a loss, the way you handle wins. And the way I handled it last week, was not correct, and that resulted in me again turning a 3K week into a break-even week. Fourth bullet point: not rushing the process and instead submitting to the time and probabilities. Staying disciplined and consistent. This was something else I should have put in my weaknesses. Staying consistent because, like I said, I've traded for 2 years, maybe almost 3 years actually, but on and off. It will never be a full year locked in, consistent, showing up every single day. Now it'd be more like 3 months I show up consistently, and then I'll take 3 months off after a losing streak because I'm like, dang, like is this even worth it? Or I come back for 2 months or 1 month really good, do really well, profits are looking good. Then the next month I just don't even show up. So it's like this is also very important. If I'm not showing up, I won't even see my edge to take a trade in the first place. So it's like, what am I doing? And then why I put not rushing the process, because if I'm rushing the process, that's going to result in me doing these things right here. If I'm trying to make money too fast, what am I going to do? I'm going to over risk. I'm going to over trade. I'm going to think one missed setup is the end of the world because I want 10K by next week, when it's like, bro, 10K, I can make 10K in a day in the future if I stay consistent like this and do what I'm supposed to do each and every day. So I need to submit to the time that's going to take, because any experienced trader knows that you're only trading when your edge occurs. Or you can't force the market to make your edge appear any single day. Like you got to show up every single day, be consistent. Let's highlight that again. You got to be consistent, show up every single day, all 5 days of the week. Or if you don't trade certain days because you know your model is bad, whatever. But show up each day of the week. You're supposed to show up and hope that your edge appears in the market. And then when it does, it's your job to enter in and to manage that trade correctly and to not do anything that's here. You know what I'm saying? So that's where being consistent and just, what is it? Oh, that's where being disciplined and consistent plays its part. And then the last step is, I already know I have an active 250K account. You guys already know that. It's with Apex. So the issue with Apex is, it's not really an issue, but the only thing I don't like about it is that I need 8 winning days. And I need to reach at least, with my account size, I need to reach at least $6,500 in profit before I can request a 3K withdrawal. So me knowing I'm only risking 750 per trade, I'm only catching 2 or 3 trades a week. Some of them might be losses. I'm expecting like maybe a month to a month and a half before I can even get a payout if I'm doing everything correctly. So everybody know today, Top Step removed the activation fee for some of their accounts, or Top Step removed the activation fee for all of their accounts. So I'm thinking, why not get a 50K account and treat it the same as my 250K? Don't risk too much, trade it normally, execute when it's time to execute, A plus trades only, whatever. But with this one, I'll be able to get a withdrawal probably slightly faster than this one. But like I said, I'm submitting to the time. Let's go back to this one. I'm not rushing the process, I'm submitting to the time. But I understand that this 50K will move slightly quicker and be able to get me a withdrawal a little bit faster than the 250K that I have here, because, or maybe, I don't even know, it might be, now I'm thinking about it, it might be around the same time for real, because I have to pass the eval and then trade the live one. But either way, I'm thinking about getting a 50K too and just trading the same as my 250K, and then I'm not buying a single account after that. Like, I'm not buying any more accounts until I withdraw money from either of these two, or both of them at the same time, whatever. And then from those withdrawals is when I'll reinvest back into trading, size up my funding, all that, and keep on scaling up and up and up over and over. So I guess that's really it. I guess it is me being transparent, me letting you know I missed 2 trades last week. I hesitated, but it wasn't in vain. I learned. I just keep, like, anything, like trading is always, I was just talking to my friend about this earlier too. In trading, you don't know what you don't know. Like, you don't know what your weaknesses are if you never experienced it, like if you never seen it happen. So like, I didn't know I struggled with this hesitation and fear until recently when I'm trying to get in, and I'm like, bro, I'm freezing up. I don't want to take the trade. I'm thinking it's gonna lose because this candle is strong at the time. I'm not thinking clear minded. But it's like, now that I've seen it happen, now that I know this is something I struggle with, it's your job to make yourself that $1 million blueprint, make yourself that solution, and actually do it. Don't just make it and not follow it. You have to make it and do it. And y'all gonna see that every single video of me working on this. Y'all will see this week. I'm gonna take at least 1 trade if it's A plus. If it's not A plus, I'm gonna say right here, I'm not taking it. I'm executing only A plus trades. So if I see an A plus model this week, just know I'm not folding on it. I'm already done 49 trades in 4 days. This number is only gonna go up because I'm pretty much done with this session right here. It's time to move on to this one. And the fact that 69% win rate, come on, y'all. 2R, I'm not doing one-to-ones. Well, if you look at this, I am, but I'm doing one-to-twos for most trades. So it's like, bro, 69% win rate with that is insane. So it's like, bro, I know the edge is profitable. I know I can do it. It's just a matter of fact of doing it and letting the results speak for themselves. So I don't think I have much else to say. Y'all be ready for the videos this week because I'm staying consistent, staying disciplined, doing what I got to do. Hope you guys learn from some of the video. If not, I hope it's just a journal for myself. It's just to hold myself accountable and make sure I know what I'm doing moving forward. This is a solution that I had for a problem that I noticed I recently had. But other than that, y'all boys be safe. God bless y'all. Make sure y'all locked in. Make sure y'all being disciplined. Make sure we succeed. It is Thanksgiving week, so tread lightly in the markets at the same time because if y'all trade on Thanksgiving, just pack it up. Just put the money in the bag. But it still should be a good week nonetheless. Y'all know, just avoid the markets when it's time to avoid it. Be consistent, be disciplined. And I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow for the actual vlog. If that's what I make, I don't know. We might make a video on a trade recap because I might take a dub, but we'll see. So God bless y'all. Y'all be safe, and I'll catch you tomorrow.